Once upon a time, in the land of the filthy rich, I start pacing around my bedroom, looking at my reflection in the mirror. I was supposed to marry a girl who had more rolls than a bakery. Enter my parents, the grand puppeteers of my life. Stefan, my mother says, her voice as sweet as a sugar-coated poison pill. We've brought you a gift. Meet your new robot girlfriends. She gestures toward a line of robots, all identical, all bearing a striking resemblance to said bakery girl. Mom, Dad, they are, I stammer, trying to find the right words. Just what I never knew I didn't want, I finally say, my voice dripping with sarcasm. What am I supposed to do, lead an army of Stepford wives? I say, unable to stop myself from laughing. I muse aloud, holding a mock salute to the robots. My parents walk in at that moment, their faces stern. Stefan, my father starts. This is not a joke. We brought these robots for you to practice, to learn how to treat your future wife. I stare at them stunned. You want me to practice on robots? Later that day, I'm at the rich girl's house, trying to fake a smile. That's when I see her. Badass girl. She's like a breath of fresh air in a room filled with stale, perfumed snobbery. She's edgy, she's sharp, and most importantly, she's not a fan of her own family. There's no place like home, I grumble, eyeing the opulent mansion that belongs to the family of the girl I'm supposed to marry. If home was a tacky museum of wealth, I add, earning a snort from the girl next to me. You look like you'd rather be anywhere else, she says, sliding up to me as I'm trying to make small talk with a stuffed penguin. It's more interesting than the other guests. And you look like you're about to start a revolution, I retort, grinning at her. This is gonna be interesting. So, you're the infamous Stefan, she says, leaning against the wall, her dark eyes sparkling with mischief. I am, I reply, rolling my eyes. And you are? Claire, she replies. The rebel of the family. She's Claire, the outcast of the family. Welcome to the circus, she says, rolling her eyes back. As we navigate through the party, dodging the rich and the pompous, we banter back and forth, bonding over our shared disdain for these social rituals. God, she's beautiful. We instantly hit it off, engaging in a game of under-the-table footsie and secret winks when no one's watching. It's thrilling, exhilarating, and the best part, no one has a clue. The evening drags on, filled with tedious conversations and fake smiles, until I find myself face to face with my prospective bride. She's draped in expensive silks, her cheeks flushed. You'll make a perfect husband, Stefan, she coos, her voice sickeningly sweet. I force a smile. Well, I will try my best. After I leave their mansion, my secret mission starts, armed with a stolen makeup kit and a borrowed wardrobe. I transform the robots into replicas of Claire, each one a little tribute to my budding feelings for her. I begin taking these new and improved robots on mock dates around our sprawling mansion, my laughter echoing off the marble walls. I called it Operation Robot Redesign. My mom's stolen makeup kit worked wonders, and with a lot of imagination, I transformed the robots one by one into clones of Claire, right down to her signature smoky eye. One evening, after another successful date with Robot Claire, I decide to stir the pot further. As I'm saying goodnight to the bot, I lean in close as if to kiss her, but whisper instead, Claire, you're one of a kind. The robot, still in character, responds with a puzzled, Who is Claire? I can almost hear my parents' jaw hitting the floor in the silence that follows. The next day, I woke up to a roar that could rival a lion. My parents, their faces a vibrant shade of apocalyptic red, are standing at the foot of my bed. They found out about my robot modifications. Stefan! How dare you disrespect our arrangements! My father bellows, pointing an accusatory finger at me. This is unacceptable! My father thunders. Well, Dad, I just thought they needed a little, personal touch, I retort, smirking. The argument escalates, the air in the room growing heavy with tension. Finally, I've had enough. Love isn't about arrangements. It's about choice, I yell, my voice echoing around the room. And I choose Claire. That girl, my mother gasps, horror written across her face. But she's illegitimate, I finish for her, my voice cold. Is that why you disapprove? Because she wasn't born into a respectable family? My father's face turns a shade darker. This is about more than just respectability, Stefan. This is about your future. Our future. This isn't a game, Stefan. This is about families, about respect. You can't just undo this arrangement. And why not? I challenge, staring him down. Why would I marry a woman I don't love, just for the sake of an arrangement? Because that's what's expected of you! My mother finally speaks up, her voice booming. We raised you better than this! And I choose something else! I declare, ignoring their protests. The room falls silent, the tension palpable. This isn't just a family argument anymore. This is the beginning of a rebellion. I can see the shock on my parents' faces, but there's no going back now. I storm out of the room, leaving them in stunned silence. They watch in silent horror as I take each bot on a mock date around our mansion. I can see the disapproval in their eyes. But who cares? Later that day, I find Claire. We need to run away, I tell her, the gravity of the situation setting in. Tonight, when everyone's asleep. She looks at me, her eyes wide. Are you serious? She asks. Do I look like I'm joking? I thought you'd never ask. As night falls, we start preparing for our escape, the thrill of the unknown making our hearts race. Little did we know our plan is about to take an unexpected turn. The moon is high in the sky as we make our escape. Sneaking around the estate, we feel like two characters in a low-budget spy movie. I can't help but chuckle at the absurdity of it all. Quiet, Stefan! Claire hisses, though she's suppressing her own laughter. We're about to board the private jet when suddenly, searchlights flood the runway. We freeze, the thrill of the chase replaced with a cold dread. Stop right there! Booms a voice. It's the head of security. Our getaway has been thwarted. We're escorted back to the house in silence. It's time to face the music. Facing our parents, I feel a strange calm. We love each other, I say simply, and we're not gonna hide it anymore. The silence is deafening. My parents' faces are a mix of anger, shock, and betrayal. The rich girl's parents look scandalized, but Claire's just smiling. The aftermath is a whirlwind. My parents disown me. Their face is a mix of anger, betrayal, and shock. But the biggest surprise is yet to come. I always knew you were a bad influence, my father grumbles. You're no longer my son. They kick us both out. I feel my parents raging and yelling from afar, but I don't care. I have Claire and nothing can stop me. Excuse me, says one of the guards, stepping forward. He hands Claire a sealed envelope, his eyes meeting hers. Your grandmother left you something, he whispers, just loud enough for us to hear. Couldn't give it to you before. It's the right time now. Claire looks shocked. Then her eyes filled with realization as she opens the envelope. Well, isn't this a plot twist? She says, her eyes twinkling with mischief. Her hand slips into mine, her grip firm. We might be disowned and in the midst of a family scandal, but we're not alone. Stefan, we just became filthy rich. Let's go! As the sun rises, we find ourselves surprisingly rich, standing on the precipice of an uncertain future. It turns out that Claire's grandmother left her a hefty sum of money. The guard couldn't tell her until she was ready to leave the mansion forever. That's the pact he made with the old lady, but it worked wonders for us. I had my own not-so-little sum of money hidden from my parents in a separate account. I told myself I would never rely on their money. Plus, I was investing them into stocks, just like they taught me since I was little. This is just the beginning, isn't it? She says, grinning at me. I laugh. You bet, Claire. You bet.